Yo, what is up, YouTube? It is your boy Kuda making um an early Scarlet Hollow video. Let's just jump into it. No questions. Let's just jump right into it. All right. 1273 Rockefeller Street. More than surreal. Oh, 1273 Rockefeller Street. How do you feel that? One, two, three, and Rockefeller Street. Let's get it loaded up. I want to finish this little library section. This library section is going to be an advancement in our investigation. Therefore, it is good. It remains a constant reminder of the family who carved Scarlet Hollow from the wilderness and provided wealth and prosperity to its residents. Let's look at the coal mines. The original mining facility is no longer standing, having been destroyed in the collapse of 1918. But the new facility, outfitted with all the cutting-edge technologies of the industry, is in itself a fine example of practical construction. The first iteration of the mining camp was a true product of its time, and what few photographs exist are an interesting peek back at a different era. One can still visit the site of the original Scarlet coal mine, though all that remains are a few abandoned tunnels closed off to the public. Let's go to the hospital. First used as a field hospital during the Civil War, it was named for Silas Scarlet's eldest son, who perished in the bloody conflict. It still stands at the end of what is now the residential district of Scarlet Hollow, and has served the health of the community for over 100 years. In the late 1800s, as the town prospered from a coal boom, additions were built onto the house and it was opened as a change of air clinic, bringing in the prestigious clientele from around the world. They believed the fresh mountain air would do them well, and Scarlet Hollow became a tourist destination for patients of all afflictions. The clinic still operates to this day as a doctor's office and stands as a building of cultural significance. Let's check Town Hall. Silas Scarlet personally founded this town's hall, the town hall's construction, as the first municipal building in the then small community of Scarlet Hollow. It has stood at the end of the main street since before the Civil War, its white columned edifice withstanding the ravages of the 1860s and continuing to stand to this day, a stunning piece of antebellum architecture. After the town of Scarlet Hollow switched to a dog mayor system of governance in the 1920s, the building has been put to different use, though the upstairs will still house town archives and a special ceremonial office for events with the mayor. So the mayor of Scarlet Hollow is a dog. Funny. Oopsies, didn't mean to click that. No way to go back, eh? Fair enough. Can I go back? Can I delete? You close the book and put it back. Flip through the veins of Scarlet Hollow. Yeah. Forced into retirement at the age due to war injury from the time of the Indian Wars. A short stint serving as captain. Silas Scarlet also lost his two eldest sons to the bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry, managed to evade decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Scarlet built the surrounding town to what it is today with expensive stone buildings on a bustling main street and overseeing all elegant Scarlet until 1895, the largest finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating into the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in the fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. Casualties included Andrew Jackson's sons Theodore, his brother Enoch V, Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. Few entries catch your eye. Look smart. Mothman. Mothman is a large flying creature generally described as a humanoid with glowing red eyes. It was first spotted by a couple in West Virginia in the mid-1960s and was encountered in the region several more times in the following years. The Silver Bridge collapsed in 1967. The Silver Bridge collapse of 1967 has been linked to a series of Mothman sightings, and it's said the presence of the creature served as some sort of omen or was a catalyst that led to that disaster. This has since become an important aspect of Mothman, with sightings of this cryptid often taken as a sign that some great misfortune is soon to follow. Sus. Though the Pine Barrens, through the Pine Barrens, the place where this creature is said to have been born. Though the Pine Barrens, the place where this creature is said to have been born, are far from the Appalachian wilderness, sightings of the Jersey Devil have been documented all throughout the forests of the eastern United States. According to popular legend, the Jersey Devil was born to a woman named Jane Leeds. Leeds, upon realizing she was pregnant with her 13th child, and daunted by the task of giving birth yet again, cursed the child in her womb, proclaiming it would be the devil itself. Though born as a small child, it quickly transformed, gaining a goat or horse's head, large bat wings, and a forked devil's tail. Kicking at the family and lashing out with its tail, it flew up the chimney and out into the night, disappearing into the Pine Barrens. The Jersey Devil is one of the oldest cryptids in the North American history, with sightings spanning back through the 1800s all the way to the origin of the myth in the late 1700s. It's said to move with incredible speed, and it's recognizable by its high-pitched, blood-curdling scream. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, alone with his hunting dogs. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out in the corner of his eye. Some small creature had gotten to the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired at the thing, his hunger guiding his actions. But it was quick, it ran back through a tiny hole out of sight, leaving only its long black tail shot off by the hunter's rifle. Guess this will have to do, he said, his dog, and threw the tail into a pot to cook a soup. He and his dog ate well that night, the tail filling them both up. The hunter crawled into his bed satisfied, and his dog curled up at his feet. Oopsies. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot of the covers where he'd been. And in the gloom, he saw two big yellow eyes staring right at him. "Want my telepo?" A high, hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. "Go away," he screamed at the thing. It stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hardwood accompanying this movement. "I want my talipo," the creature growled again. Whoopsies. "I'll get my dog after you," the hunter squeaked, his voice catching in his throat with fear. But there was no dog to be seen. Whoopsies. "I want my talipo!" Before the hunter could do so much as scream, the creature left in the darkness, long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night, but the next morning all that remained of the hunter, his dog, and the cabinet was a chimney standing alone in the woods. Is that what we're looking for? Safe to say, my life was hard in the southern. The land and its people had been ravaged by conflict, and had turned many turned unusual industries to get by. One such industry was that of ginseng diggers, or sand diggers, as they were colloquially known, who eked out a meager living for themselves by digging up, selling wild American ginseng. Oh, okay. Myths surrounding sand diggers were plentiful, but most prominent Among them was that of the ginseng baby. It was said if you dig up a ginseng root on the night of the new moon, it will cry like an infant and leave blood on the earth when it's torn free. The parallels to American mandrakes are clear, and it can be assumed the myth arose from cross-pollination from European immigrants, but perhaps on the night of the new moon you should go out and dig up a ginseng root, see if it cries, and check the earth for its blood. Or it could be that the myth is spread through not through legends passed down through immigrant families, but from the unsettling experiences from these Appalachian foragers. Well, this is great. This is some great detective work. Let's take a little break. See what we can put together. I've honestly got nothing. Let's continue. One of the most famous hauntings in North American history, the Bell Witch was a strange entity that plagued the citizens of the Red River region of Tennessee in the early 1800s. Many strange phenomena have been attributed to the witch through the years, but the most famous was the haunting of the Bell family. It started out as a fairy tale, as a fairly typical haunting, with unnatural sounds echoing through the house after sundown, and the appearance of a strange mammal that no one could identify or capture. Unlike other hauntings, though, these acts quickly escalated to attacks on the family, and in particular the daughter, Elizabeth Bell. She was constantly covered in bruises from the spirit's abuse. The spirit could frequently be heard speaking through the walls, its disembodied voice mocking the family and any visitors, and it eventually escalated to giving full-blown hallucinations to those dwelling in the Bell house. Though this haunting ended in the early 1800s, its activity continued in the region for many decades. It could be that the entity known as Bell Witch may still dwell in the Red River region to this day. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in the Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. They are traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. The Hopkins Goblins case was supposed to close and was a supposed close encounter with extraterrestrials in the 1950s near Hopkinsville, Kentucky. During the incident, 5 adults and 7 children arrived at the local police station, claiming that a group of small, chrome creatures had besieged their farmhouse for hours. When police arrived on the scene, they found bullet holes and spent shells, but little else in the way of evidence. Skeptics suggest that the family had simply misidentified a group of great horned owls. Even so, the incident remains one of the most thoroughly corroborated and documented cases of extraterrestrial contact. Wampus Cat. Often linked to the Cherokee legends, some cite the Wampus Cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon from driving her husband mad. She hunted it down and, wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using one of its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of the region from its evil. Others say that the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wildcat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunters of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the belt and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Her calls are those of great sadness and serve as a warning to anyone who dares go against tradition. Buh, buh, buh. Well, what do you guys think about that? Silas Everett Scarlett was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlett in 1818. One of the 12 siblings, he grew up in the northern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness for which he received the name Bloody Silas Scarlet. This federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow, but it was started as a simple log cabin, built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10. Silas, his wife, Mary, Joseph, and Scarlet, and their eight children. The logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. We finished with this one. I think I'm all done. Let's check in. I'm ending the episode off here, but not before I drop these sick raps. Look, listen, man, we just learned about the Appalachian mines. It's racking my mind, bouncing around. Hope I can control it. Then I see some alternate evidence, and I'm like, yo, check it. Check it. 1, 2. It's your boy Kuda, back up on the track. Yo, you can slap my back, cause I'm doing real good on the beat. And I got me an 8 infinite. Ooh. Turn it around. Baby girl, turn it around. I'ma make a sound. It's gonna go smack on your back, but not your real back. I'm talking about that fat. And we better shift gears, baby. In the freaking stick shift going down I-5, and we're running 105. Am I right? Yeah, you know it. Make an MP4, put it on YouTube and show it. Cause your boy is rowing his boat. Yeah. In Italy or Venice, wherever you wanna go. Hope I live long enough to see that stuff. Oh, long, long life. Going there with a long, long wife. Hey, she's got a long, long knife. I'm talking about her pearly whites, man. She's nice. We got a nice home in our brain that we want one day, and we gonna get it if we save enough dough, eh? Ooh, yeah, you know we saying, man. Yeah. Yeah, we know we saving, man. Yeah, and we got oatmeal on deck. Eating this oatmeal, man. What the heck? It tastes like utter smack. Like I'm eating crack. It's so dang good, like a snack. She's so dang good, she's a snack. Talking about Rachel, she has my back. Always has. Even when I did her dirty, I brought her back on the right track. And you know that. Because sometimes I be searching for a girl that's gonna rock my world, and baby, you the one, so I'm going with you. I said I'm going with you. Yeah, ring on her finger, it's a really blinger. See her in the streets, and I wanna freaking ring her. I wanna freaking pick her up and just swing her. Wanna give her that. Alright. Hey, have a good day, man. I just tried to drop some rhymes on it real quick, man. Hey, this song is a banger. This song is a banger. Hit me with a hanger. I don't even know why. Feeling like I'm driving a F16 or an F5. Driving in my G6. Leia, look. Oh man, I love this game. I love this game's music. Oh, I wasn't even freaking recording the whole time? Are you serious right now? Or is that just now? Okay. Your boy Kuda.